Welcome to the podcast of CreateConnectConvert.co, a community of empowered businesswomen by empowered businesswomen. Let's dig in.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Create, Connect, Convert podcast. I am here with my lovely co-hosts and friends, Laura Templeton and Kristy Crippen. Ladies, why don't you introduce yourselves, and then we'll get started with our subject for today, which I'm very excited about.
I'm excited too.
Go first.
Okay.
So I'm Laura Templeton with 30 Second Success, and I've been called to empower and inspire entrepreneurs and professionals to use their God-given voice with clarity, confidence, and compassion so they can attract the right opportunities, simplify their work with AI, and grow both their impact and their income.
I love that. Hello, everyone. I am Kristy Crippen. I'm the founder of Collaborative Partners, and I am your intuitive thought partner and business process architect because I want you to feel empowered in your business every single day. Thank you.
Hey, and I'm Regina Garay. I am a digital marketing manager and educator. I work primarily in the design and construction industry, but I also help small business owners and nonprofits. So just talking about small business makes me excited. And that is one of our topics for today. A section of the small business owner who is service-based rather than product-based. And we're going to talk about practical marketing for service-based businesses, because that's kind of a different vibe than products. You know, it's a little harder, I think, for the small business owner to kind of sell themselves when they're selling themselves or, you know, what their team does. So I am going to dive in. For those of you on YouTube, I'm just looking at my questions on the side. I'm not concentrating on you. And but here we go. Okay. Why does marketing, let's break it down, feel harder for service-based businesses than product-based ones? And either of you can jump in if you'd like.
Yeah, I think that's an amazing question. And it's one of the questions I think predominantly most of my clients have been service-based business owners. And that's where the struggle with brand communications comes in. And I think part of it is because we can't actually show a pretty picture transformation. Right? We can talk about transformation and the experiences our clients have all day long, but because, you know, your services, it's very personal, right? We know what we deliver. And sometimes I think a lot of service-based business owners struggle with value, right? They struggle with putting a value on what they bring to the table. They know what they deliver. They know how they help people. They know the transformation that their audience and their clients experience from the work that they do, but it's hard to put that into that translation, right? Again, like I said, you can't show a picture of transformation, but there are things that you can do to help people understand the work that you do. But again, it comes down to, putting yourself out there, showing your expertise, talking about yourself, sharing your experiences with clients can actually feel very vulnerable. And I think vulnerability really plays into why it's such a struggle for service-based businesses to market their services, because again, we're all vulnerable. We hate to be judged, right? And I think sometimes that self-talk kind of creeps in, and we start to that comparisonitis becomes an issue as well. But at the end of the day, a lot of it is because you can show a really great picture of a product. You can't show a really great picture of the transformation without sharing the story.
Yeah. And one of the things that you said really struck out at me, because you said we got to talk about ourselves. And so I run a mastermind group, and last night we had a session, and that was one of the things we all talked about, because the mastermind group is goal-based, and one of their goals is to promote their business. And when you're promoting a service-based business, you don't want to come across as selly, even though you are talking about yourself. So one of the ways, to do that is to talk about the challenges that your person has, that your audience has, and how you can fix it, or, advice for how you can address oh my gosh, I just completely lost my train of thought. But basically talking about how you can tackle those challenges and, how you provide results and how you can make that transformation. And even with that transformation, talking about, that aspect of your business rather than, hey, I'm here and I can do, this and that. And, so more pain points and less benefits. Christy, did
Yeah,
you?
well, I'm sorry.
No, no, go
No.
ahead, Laura, go ahead.
Like, well, it really comes down to the fact that service-based business marketing is harder. It's not necessarily harder, it's cheaper, right? It requires trust and relationship building and clarity of message. It's very different. I
Yeah.
really think product-based and service-based, very different marketing. And you have to approach it differently because you really need to build trust. And once you lean into that, it actually becomes an advantage when you lead into building that trust and being clear on your messaging.
What do you both think of, looking at your services as a product that transforms lives?
Mm. And yes, that's that conversational piece that you need to have. That transformation, that looking at it as service, right? It's like, how do we serve our audience? One of the things that in my big talks, when I do my signature talk, it's really about having a heart of service and really thinking about who needs my help and how can I help them and what are the problems that I need to help them solve. And I think it's very powerful thinking of it as your service as a product. I think that can help flip that switch in people's minds. I don't know. What do you think, Kristy?
Yeah, because
I,
you're all
oh,
about mindset. How does the mindset of somebody shift into that? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I wanted
No,
to,
that's okay. That's okay.
you know,
um, I love that idea because I think at the same time, it can also help us to build a healthier relationship with ourselves. If we reframe our viewpoint of ourselves and how do we view who we are as a person, as a business owner, how do we view what we do in the world? And it could be a kinder, gentler way. We could build a healthier relationship with ourselves. If we were all the owners of an Italian restaurant, we could sit there and describe those menu dishes all day. We could use key words like really juicy, descriptive words like succulent and flavorful, and we could do the sexy overhead photography shots and all of the things. And then when it comes to us and describing our own services, it's like crickets because I think, we're taught don't be showy, don't be braggadocious. And then if, when you have confidence in who you are and what you deliver,
mhm.
I think that in the deepest recesses within you, you can have fear of judgment. Like, what if I don't deliver, right? And even though we have great feedback and testimonials from our happy clients, it, it's like you can dissociate with an object or with a product, but with us, because we are so married to it, it's hard to have that separation. So I love your idea of looking at our services as a product, because then we can step out of it and look at it objectively.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Thank you. Yeah, I know it's kind of it works for many and it doesn't work for others.
Right.
Others are able
Right.
to, so it's a kind of a, all right, ladies, tell me about storytelling. So in a business for service based, we come across a lot of stories because we work with a lot of clients. And so we have a lot of experiences, we have a lot of challenges that we go through. How can we use the power of stories in marketing to promote our businesses? Well, I know one way, I'm going to jump in, is one of those things that you said, Christy, where we're like, I don't want to be braggadocious, I don't want to show off. You could let your clients do that through testimonials.
Mhm.
So if you, And that to me is one of the number one ways for a service-based business to showcase the transformation. Because you're right, Laura, that you can't show a transformation, but you can absolutely share it. So getting reviews on your Google business profile, using those as a testimonial, anything that anybody emails you, and hey, that last, session was fantastic. I got such clarity. I now have the road ahead. It's just an email, but you can write to them and say, hey, is it okay if I use this as a testimonial? Or just outright sending them to, I think they can do video testimonials. I think the website is Senja, Senja, that people can do video testimonials for you. I'm sorry, my puppy is he's snoring, and I'm hoping you guys don't hear this.
No.
Don't hear it. We don't hear it.
You don't know that the fourth member of Create, Connect, Convert is Quasar, the dog. Um,
He wants to weigh in.
what do you all think of the storytelling for other ideas for storytelling?
I think storytelling, telling your own story is just as important, right? We need to share, sometimes like I find when people are their most vulnerable and really share their feelings, that emotion behind why they do what they do, it really makes a connection with your audience. And obviously, testimonials, hands down, number one, my favorite thing to share, because it shows the impact that I'm having on my clients, right? So it really deepens. And it's so funny that you said testimonials, because one of the first things that I do when I talk with clients that are struggling to see their value, is make them go and read their testimonials. Right? Or send out the link from LinkedIn and ask people for testimonials. I think that is really powerful to help you stay engaged in using the words that your audience is using. Right? My client said this about me. I love that they use this particular phrase. I'm going to use that in my content. When we have those testimonials, they become very powerful in helping us tell our stories, tell the transformation that our clients experience. It's another, that it's the storytelling, the case studies can be used in a beautiful way. Stories of your interaction with a client, stories with the interaction of why you didn't hire, why you didn't work with a particular client. Like, it's not a good fit. It's not always a good fit. And you can say, I had somebody came to me and wanted to work with me, and for some reason in my heart of hearts, I felt like it was not a good fit. There was a reason for it. I don't know why. Lovely person. You don't have to name names, right? Lovely person, but I just felt like they would be better served by working with someone else, right?
Yeah.
You could just say that, and that shows how thoughtful you are about who you work with. And it's very powerful. There's so many different ways when storytelling can become such a powerful part of all of your communications, whether it's your website, your profiles, the content that you're sharing online, where you're showing up, the articles that you're posting. That storytelling helps people have a glimpse into who you serve and how you serve them.
I love that. And for me, those are one of the most even storytelling even in products is really important, but more so for service-based businesses, so that's something to cultivate through. I've started, this is a little, but you don't need to do this. This is an option, but I've started actually a spreadsheet on different experiences and different stories because you just don't remember everything that and the experiences. And when something pops up, I put it in and I'm like, this might work out for a newsletter. This might work out for a presentation, something that you're doing, public speaking, anything like that. Kristy, do you do anything like that for your stories, or what kind of marketing content do you look at for your service-based business?
I love the idea of keeping a spreadsheet. You could make that part of your post-meeting wrap up. Like if say that, you wrap up a meeting with a client and then
it's fresh in your head.
It's fresh in your head. You can get those details down. And something that I love to do, and I was taught this by my business consultant, is that if when we're in casual conversation with someone or in a say in a coaching session, planning session, what have you, and then all of a sudden something comes out of your client and they say, "Oh my gosh, because you did this, I improved here," or because of what you said here, it helped me to feel better in this way, and then it's helping expand my business, or whatever it is. Like, they're just, it flows out of people. So if we can just take that and capture it, and then again, while it's fresh, all those juicy details, send them an email and say, Beverly, during our coaching session today, you said the following, and I'm paraphrasing. This would make an amazing testimonial. How would you feel? Have I captured this accurately? Is there anything you would like to add? Is there anything you would like to change? If it is perfect in its current iteration, all you have to do is say, yeah, just respond back and say yes. And then that would give me approval to use it in my marketing and my communications. You're helping them do the heavy lifting. So now they don't have to spend the time to craft that. If so many people love the idea of giving a testimonial, but then when they sit down to do it, they're like, I don't know what to say. I love the earlier suggestion you made, Regina, about video. Talking on video. There are so many people nowadays, especially the younger generations, who are so comfortable on video.
Mhm.
And when you see that, for me, when I watch somebody talk about their experience and you see it on their face, you see it in their posture, you feel it in their energy. And for me, that's as powerful as seeing a before and after photo for like a skincare brand or weight loss, or something. Um, it's for me, it's just about painting the picture. It's like I envision this white blank canvas, and then what picture am I going to paint? What How did something affect my client on such a deep level? What was the before and after? What was the key transformation there? And then how can I craft that in such a way that the people out in the world who would see that go, oh my gosh, that's me. She's speaking directly to me.
Yep. And going on top of what the video that we were talking about, you could also, as a service-based business, showcase your expertise by using that video. And aside from a testimonial, but you could say, this is why you're having the challenge. This is probably the challenge you're happening. This is why that challenge is happening. And that kind of promotion, it's showing that the challenges they're going to, why they're having that challenge, and you're the answer to that pain point. So that they could come to you for how to get out of that challenge, and how to you know make that transformation. Another type of video is that you could actually share your expertise. These are 3 tips to do this,
Yes.
that kind of thing. Or this is, even just this is my kind of day today, and just going, this is what happened at 10 noon, 2, so that they can see everything that you tackle during the day as a service-based business and how you help people. So,
I think that it's a beautiful point, and I think that's something that a lot of people need to understand.
mhm.
Hands down, video, the open rates for video is higher than any other type of content.
Mm.
And people who are afraid to record themselves or create videos or not use video in their marketing are losing out. Because what happens when you put a video is you're making that personal connection. It's people want to see your face, right? They want to lean in, they want to see you, they want to experience what it's like to be in your circle. So when you are sharing video and you talk about your experiences, and you talk about just things that you struggle with, like things that could go wrong, right? Here you're creating this content, and here's some things that could go wrong, here's some things that could go right. 3 tips. People love tip videos, they love great content, they love reels.
Mm.
um I don't
and
know about
fun
you, but
videos
when
too.
if I see videos or if I see reels on LinkedIn, I stop and especially if it's somebody I know, I flip through the whole reel. I watch the video and it's like, those are the things that are getting my attention because again, someone took the time to create it. And I think there's a lot of depth and insight that goes into creating those particular assets. And that's what's fun. I think just video can make such a difference in your business.
But even if because some people might be listening to this and and they're like, I just don't like seeing myself on camera. And it's just, and I have to tell, I was there because me being on camera now is like a huge thing because I never did that. And you can start by like doing B-roll, just filming the landscape or something and doing a voiceover, creating a doodle of yourself, or you can now create an avatar of yourself and, I know that some people may think badly about that, but there are ways to layer your comfortableness being on video. You don't have to like be like, okay, I have to be on camera. You can ease your way in, is what I'm saying. And just test yourself on a camera. Nobody's ever going to see it but you. Nobody's ever going to see it, until you feel comfortable and you're like, okay, I think I can do this video and share it with the world. So there. I'm sorry.
So there.
Like I'm
Okay.
feeling for all my people that get scared being in front of the
No, and
camera.
I can relate to that because the biggest thing to remember is we all start somewhere. And I look at some of my YouTube videos, the first YouTube videos that I've created, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to take them down. But
Do
but then
not.
I look at some now and it's like, look how far I've come. I think the more, just like anything else, the more you do it, the more comfortable you get, right? And the more your confidence grows. And you don't have to publish them for the world, right? You just, create them, put them on a YouTube channel, make a playlist. If you share it, you share it. If you don't, you don't. Just get comfortable at creating the content. Get comfortable at creating the videos. If you do it daily, one of the best things I ever did was I did a 30-day challenge of creating a video and posting it on Facebook. It was a 30-day challenge. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. I don't know what I'm going to be talking about for 30 days, but I'm going to do it. Right. And the whole point of it was just getting comfortable making video.
Yeah. How did you feel on day 30?
Oh my gosh, day 30 was like, yeah, I got this. I don't know what I was afraid of. It was early on in my business. And as a matter of fact, it's so funny because I think, we weren't even doing virtual. It was way before, Zoom was actually, I really wish I invested in Zoom before the pandemic, but that's besides the point. When Zoom first became a thing, you know what I mean? When, and YouTube was getting popular, it was like, okay, how do I take advantage of this YouTube thing? Right. It wasn't even where it just felt clunky at that time. Now it's a breeze.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you guys are so organized that you actually keep spreadsheets of ideas. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like so not there. I just put everything in a note. Like I have my notebook thing, my notes on my phone. If I have an idea, that's where it goes. I'm like, okay, I got a whole list here of all these different ideas, but at least I have it somewhere. It's not a spreadsheet. Sorry, guys, not a spreadsheet. It's just a list. And every so often I go and look at my list. The other thing where I put a lot of my ideas is in ChatGPT. Like if I have an idea for something, I'm going to go and I'm just going to create a prompt around it and put it in ChatGPT. If I use it, I use it. If I don't, I don't. But then it's there. And y'all know that I love working with ChatGPT for my content. So that's where it's at, right? And, if I want to create a video, let's talk about a script and this is what I want to talk about. And so that's where I go. That's my go-to, as opposed to being as organized as the two of you are with your spreadsheets. And I admire you greatly for that. I'm telling you, I am, because there have been times where I realized that I created something that I had already created. It's like, because I just lost track of it, right? And it's like,
Laura, we celebrate the fact that you come up with an idea and you have the awareness around it, and then you have this great habit of saying, you know what, let me get it into that note. So you do have a home for them. Now we just need to build you a beautiful home for all of your ideas. So they all have their own little
You need to put a
rooms.
roof. You got to put a roof on my house.
Yes, we'll get you a nice garden. We'll get you a veggie patch. It'll be amazing.
Look, it's the architect in the room who's talking about
The house. We're building a home now.
a home for my ideas. I love it. I love it.
Some bird
All right,
baths.
everybody. We have come full circle from service-based business to spreadsheets.
Oh my goodness. It's awesome.
So all of you who are listening out there, I hope that you have some good ideas for promoting your service-based business, because all three of us feel you. We know where you're at. We're in that boat with you.
Yes.
And so it can be tough to self-promote, but there are ways to shift your mindset around that. And there are different types of content that you can pull together. And so we thank you for being with us today. And just remember to always be creating, always be connecting, and never stop converting your dreams into reality. Oh my goodness, I messed it up, didn't I, Laura?
Say, Laura? That was awesome. Beautiful job.
Thank you. And we'll see you next time on the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of CreateConnectConvert.co. We hope you're feeling inspired, empowered, and ready to make your next bold move. Remember, the journey doesn't end here. Head over to CreateConnectConvert.co to download our latest resources, sign up for our upcoming events, or hop on the wait list for our exclusive mastermind community. There's a seat at the table waiting just for you. Thank you for tuning in, and be sure to click like and subscribe. We'll see you back here next week to dive into another game-changing conversation. And here's a little something to carry you until then. Keep creating, keep connecting, and never stop converting your dreams into reality.